Okay, just got back from seeing Surrogates. It's not The Surrogates, just Surrogates. If you've seen any of the any trailers at all, essentially, humans put on a headset, sit in a relatively comfortable chair, and live their lives through a synthetic human, well, a synthetic robot. Yeah, it's kind of redundant, synthetic robot. Essentially it's a robot, it's an exoskeleton with skin put on the outside of it. Kind of like what they did in Terminator. And, there actually is a murder, and there's the relatively simple plot that goes through the sequence of events to make it the kind of a thriller, but there really isn't that much suspense because it's very, very formulaic. Special effects are, for the most part, pretty good. When somebody logs off of their surrogate, it goes from being a living, breathing, version of a human to just being essentially like a CGI image. It looks entirely fake once someone logs off. Those are you're looking at essentially a mannequin. So of course, everyone being kind of synthetic, the acting is kind of stiff, but you'd expect that because everyone's essentially jacked into a robot. Do they raise some kind of moral quandaries? Because you have the people who essentially just leave their homes, their surrogates, and people who live in what they call dread zones, where it's just, I'll call it, it's a trailer park. People who have entirely rejected the idea of living inside a perfected robot version of yourself. Or in some cases, a person you would rather be. There are two instances in the movie where the surrogate looks nothing at all like the person. Not even remotely close to the person. Both of them are kind of humorous. Again, this is very much a good Bruce Willis. You've seen the commercials, you know that he essentially stops using the surrogate and actually walks around as a regular person in a world pretty much full of robots. I can't give away much of it, so all I can say is, pretty good movie. The action is okay, it's realistic. Special effects are pretty good. I'm going to some spoilers now, so all in all, pretty good movie. It raised some interesting moral questions, and I couldn't help but think that having played something like Star Wars Galaxies or City of Heroes, you entirely do understand, some people, they would rather have an easier, I'm just going to be someone who flies or jumps or, can shoot things or go out fishing in a foreign land and not have to worry about actually leaving the comfort of my own home. So, that's the only slight moral dilemma it even remotely raises. So I'm going to some spoilers. Okay, one of the funny moments. You kind of see a guy in the beginning to try to have relations of an adult nature with a blonde woman. But then they find their users. The blonde woman was actually like a fat dude. And then there's one where they go into the engineering section, and the guy's name is like Seth Rosenberg, and it's like a little geeky looking white guy on the card, and he's like a 6'8" black guy. So that was kind of funny. And of course, as you're going through it, and you start to realize whatever you think the twist is going to be, the twist is there. The prophet is actually a surrogate. Surrogate being run by the person who created surrogates. So essentially the person who's trying to destroy all surrogates is the person who made them. Also the person who killed his son. So, kind of formulaic, nothing real like, whoa, I didn't see that coming. It was all, it's 90 minutes, it's formulaic, it's enjoyable.